And here we go. All right, folks, here we are for another episode of Off the Grid. Hey, my next guest is a music producer who hails from the East Coast. He's also a member of the amazing Strange Famous Camp. Wanted to welcome music producer Alexander Brown. Thanks for joining me, brother. How are you today?
Woo! What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good, man. Hey, thanks again for doing this on the weekend. I appreciate you.
Yeah, of course, man.
All right.
Anytime.
Yeah. Hey, well, with that, man, let's start with just a quick introduction to yourself. Tell me where you were born, where you exactly call home, and how long you've been doing music.
Um, so I was born in South Baltimore City, Maryland. I grew up down there, and eventually, around 15 years old, my mom and I moved out of the city, and yeah, grew up South Baltimore City. My dad still stayed down there. So I'd be down there every weekend, and grew up in the county and going to school out there. And yeah.
Where are you living at now, and how long have you been doing music?
Right now I'm still here in Maryland.
Okay.
Right down the road from the city. In a quiet little neighborhood, which I like a lot. Um, yeah. I don't know. I guess I've been doing music for maybe close to 15 years. Yeah, 15
Nice.
years.
Awesome,
Yeah,
man.
because I started making music when I was learning how to engineer, because I didn't have anything to like I didn't have like any bands or artists hit me up for mixing or anything, because obviously like I'm gonna suck and I don't know anything. So I started making my own music to learn how to mix with that, and then it just progressed from there.
Nice, man. And so, what was the introduction to music like? Like, what were your parents? What were they playing when you were a kid? And yeah, what really caught your ear at a young age?
So when I was younger, my dad was always listening to like Black Sabbath and like
Nice.
Pink Floyd, um, music like that. Like he liked a lot of darker rock music, um, and then like some other stuff too, like some pop stuff. Like he would play it once in a while on the radio when we'd be driving in the car.
Okay.
Um, and a lot of times too, growing up, like my mom would be at work and my dad would be at work and my grandfather would be at work, and I'd just be a little kid in the house by myself. So then
Yeah.
MTV would be my babysitter.
Yeah.
MTV, and I don't know if you have this channel out there, but in the 90s there was a channel called The Box.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, you remember The Box?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's yeah, where you had to order
So
the songs, right?
yeah, and like I would watch that and just wait for people to order music videos.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I found it fun, like the anticipation of waiting for it and like trying to like guess which one was gonna come up based on like what was popular, like what was mostly played.
Nice.
Um, and that's how I got introduced to like hip hop. Like a
Oh,
lot of times I would see like Cream video from Wu-Tang, um, Nas, If I Ruled the World.
yeah.
I think it was that one. Um, I don't know if it was that one. It was something from Illmatic. It
Okay.
might have been that one. I can't remember, but like that's how I got introduced to Nas and Wu-Tang and Biggie, and yeah, I would always just sit there and wait for it to come on. And then once when I kind of got a little bit older, and my mom would take me to the mall or something shopping for school, whatever, and I'd go in the music store and be like, "Hey, can you get me this?"
Yeah.
And I'd
Yeah.
point to like the CD that had my favorite song on it, and she didn't think anything of it. She would get it for me.
Nice.
My first like hip hop album I bought was No Way Out from Puff Daddy
Oh,
and like
Daddy.
the
Oh, yeah.
Bad Boy Crew. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was actually a dope album.
That's right. I was gonna say that, man. Yeah, that was a good album.
Yeah, like
Oh man,
the
it's so. Oh man, aside from the No Way Out album, that was a good CD. I haven't heard that in a while, man. I'll have to revisit that. Yeah. Well, were there any other albums that were very influential in you making music?
yeah, for sure. Um, so I guess right around 15, 16 years old, like I was insanely into hip hop,
Okay.
and I started working at this restaurant, and one of the guys there, which I'm still really like close friends with now, he introduced me to like the whole indie world of hip hop.
Yeah.
Um, he, I had this like little iPod thing,
Yeah.
and he put a bunch of stuff on it for me to listen to.
Okay.
And the one of the first things I heard was the Black Sweatshirt song from Sage Francis.
Oh, sheesh.
And I was like, what is this? Like this is hip hop, but like this is not like how I've heard it before. Like it's different subject matter. And I remember before, like I liked the subject matter because it gave me a different perspective on life and like the storytelling aspect of it. And like I relatively lived like within that same world of life, but like it was a different, like I was a kid, and
Yeah.
this was like the perspective of like the adults that were doing whatever. So it like helped me understand kind of like what was going on with my life. But then when I heard Sage's music, I it resonated with me more because it was like real regular human thoughts, kind of like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like between like, life shit, relationship stuff, and like whatever, like it just it like I connected to it, and I never heard anybody speak about things like that before, especially the way Sage does it. Like dude's got a really well way of words.
No,
Better
I
than,
agree. And so let
you
me
know,
let me,
like
I'm gonna jump from my typical line of questioning, but you heard Sage Francis, and now you're part of the camp, man. How's that connection made? So that had to have come like years later on, and so I just how's the story of you becoming a part of the Strange Famous family? How did that happen?
um, oh man. Well, after when I turned 17, 18, I left and went to college for audio engineering because I I wanted to do that since I found out like that was like a fun thing to do with music where you didn't have to be like on stage or anything. I didn't like being like on stage or performing or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I got really into engineering. Still a big fan of Sage, always following stuff. Like when Prolific and Reanimated put that album out, I got that right away. And I did like in school when I was like learning how to make beats. Um, like one of the first like real beats I made was to the Artist Goes Pop remix contest. I just did it for fun.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, like I just kept making beats and getting better and better and better. And then one day, by this time I was in LA doing my internship, and
Oh wow.
yeah, and then had made this one beat, and I got like a violin player to do some stuff on it, and I just like I put it on SoundCloud, and my buddy JC just kept thinking in his head like this is like a good Sage Francis song, and he just like without telling me like tweeted it to him,
Oh, crazy. All right.
and then, and then Sage DM'd me and was like, hey, this is really great, like can you send it to me? I'm like, yeah, sure. And I took it off SoundCloud, sent it to him, and then we just kind of stayed in contact from there. And then I got real excited about it, so I kept making more beats. And then I sent him another beat, which ended up being the beat for Grace. And
Oh,
that was he made a song to that one instead of the original one, and he sent that back to me, and it blew me away. Like I kind of had like a bunch of flashbacks of like being a kid listening to them and like
Oh, I bet.
just like what what's happening here?
Yeah.
It's crazy. This is weird. Like I didn't know really how to feel, but like just excited and
Sure.
just like thinking about my whole path in life and like how it led up to that. Like I don't know. That's how that happened though. Like and then
So
after Grace we just kept in contact.
let me ask you the turnaround time between when you gave him the grace beat and when he got it back to you, because there had to be obviously an anticipation, like, oh, is he gonna rhyme on it? And how long did that take after you sent it to
Uh,
him to get that song back?
so when I sent it to him, like after I sent it to him, I was like, damn it, why did I send that to him? I don't like that beat. Like I was kind of mad at myself. And then bro, like I'm pretty sure it was like a week later he sends back the song.
Dude,
And
that's
I did
pretty
not
fast. Yeah.
and I didn't know it was on that beat. So like he sent it back and I'm like, oh cool. Like I'm thinking that it was the first beat, and then I listened to it, I'm like, whoa. It like changed my it cha- it changed my whole perspective on that beat.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Oh man,
and
he
I
just
remember like
master
I
words.
remember
Yeah.
asking him for the acapella so I could try and do like some more stuff to the beat. And then I got the acapella back and was like trying, and I'm like, I don't want to do anything else to the beat. I'm like, you know what, Sage? Forget it. It's perfect the way it is. Like he wrote perfectly to it, like in a way that like if I did anything else, it just sounded weird. Like if I tried to do more stuff, it was like it would sound like, oh, he's just trying to do more just to do more like that. But it was
Yeah.
like, no, I don't want to do that. Like I don't want to like it's perfect the way it is.
Man, that's awesome, man. Holy cow. Came as a result of that. And then you mentioned that you guys built a relationship over the years. And then when did the official invite into the family? When did that happen? A couple years later, or?
Yeah, so some time passed, and in LA, like
Hmm.
right before I was about to get like a cool job offer, um, I got tinnitus in my ears, so then that went away, and then like it was sort of driving me crazy for a little bit, the ringing, and then I was debating on if I wanted to come back to Maryland to try and reset and get
Okay.
medical attention and see, if I could do anything to make the tinnitus better. And I had decided that I was going to move back, and then my father passed away. He passed away before I could even tell him that I was coming back. So I'm like, I just packed up my car and drove from LA back to Maryland.
Yeah.
And a couple more years passed, and like I had stopped producing. I didn't want to do it anymore. Like I was pretty done with everything, especially music, and like I started drawing just to like be have some form of creativity. And then I started kind of fighting with myself, like, all right, fucking make a beat. Just make a beat. Like, just do it. Just do it. So I forced myself to make one. I made a couple, and then I kind of started feeling the flow again, but not really. Like my heart didn't feel like it was there, but I was making myself do it anyway. And I made the Alex Brown project, the first beat tape. I made
Yeah.
that, and then I I had no emotion towards it, and I was just gonna upload it to SoundCloud. But I wanted to get a critique from Sage just to see what he would say and whatever. So
Yeah.
I sent him the project. I was like, "Hey, what do you think of this?" And then he emailed me back, and he loved it. Like he really loved it, and was like, "What are you gonna do with it?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Just put it on SoundCloud, call it a day, whatever."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Well, dude, like, can we release it?" And I'm like, "Are you serious?" He's like, yeah. I'm like,
It's awesome, man.
Okay. And then we did it. And then like the build up to it, like, figuring out album art and all the little things. And then like, they said they were gonna make cassette tapes of it.
Yes.
And I got excited about that. And then I started making more music, and then I relearned why I love doing it. And then I just like started charging beats, like just making them. And then I made all the beats for Glow Kid within a week.
Oh my
And
God.
then I put all that together, made all the transitions and everything in next week. And I was really excited about that. And it was gonna be an instrumental thing, but I kept feeling like it was missing something. And then Sage, I think Sage like put the idea out there to get Buddy Peace to do some cuts on it.
Yeah.
I think he gave me that idea. So then we hit him up and he did the cuts. And then Sage was like, now this feels like it needs some rappers on it. I'm like, yeah, it does. So then we just like kept emailing back and forth and like, oh, what about this person with this one? Like pairing it up. That part took the longest. Like that part took like probably close to 9 months. Just
Okay.
like um figuring out who we were gonna get on it and then waiting for them to write and record. And then yeah, and then after that, like I just am completely in love with it again. I'm making them every single day. Like
That's
always
great.
working on something. Like I wake up super early every day just to work on music before work. 'Cause I work 2 jobs and I don't really have like a free day.
Yeah.
So I have to use my mornings and I have to use my nights. But I don't mind it. Like I love doing it, and I look forward to waking up every morning now.
Yeah, hey man, you make some amazing music. And so I didn't realize that after the accident, you stopped making music for a little bit. I didn't realize there was a break in between that time. And then you ended up
hmm
back to Maryland, and then you put together the Alexander Brown project, which when I went through it, I read the little messaging behind it that hey, it was just difficult time in your life, and then as you
Yeah.
finish that project, it was a message to everybody that you can overcome all those hardships and that hey, I'm still here, I'm still making music. And so it was a beautiful project, man. I was really just fascinated with the messaging behind it. And my favorite tracks on that album was "Felt" in the leftover antidepressants, and then the Athena's
Yeah.
Right. I had to use it. Those were some banging tracks that I really enjoyed, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, after I
Thank you,
figured
man.
out yeah, everything behind it, I was like, dude, I gotta get the tape. So I went on the website and I gotta pick it up tonight. But yeah, just an awesome
Oh,
story.
sick.
Yeah, awesome story, man, behind everything. I mean, just a beautiful message of being able to overcome some difficulties. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, man. Of course.
Yeah, yeah. So interesting. So
Thank you for
that was
getting
your
it.
first release with Strange Famous, and super awesome, man. That Sage offered to put it out. And then who did the art for that? Oh,
My buddy Jeremy Lombardo, his Instagram thing is Bardo Balance.
okay,
He's super talented. Like he's heavy into like graffiti style art. So a lot of his art is done with spray cans, spray paint.
sick.
And he uses other stuff too. But he's sick. Like he does a lot of like big murals in
Oh,
Arizona.
nice.
That's where he lives at now. Um, yeah, he did that for sure.
Yeah, super cool, man. Well, hey, even before that album, so are you into anything outside of rap music? What other music do you like to listen to?
Um, yeah, I like almost anything. Like the
Okay,
only thing I don't really like to listen to is country music.
okay, not even a little.
Like or like not like old country, but like not like pop. I don't like pop country because it's
Okay,
like the same formula over and over again. And um I don't really relate to country stuff. Nothing against it or
That's
like,
right.
you know, the people that make it or anything, but like it just doesn't resonate with me.
Yeah.
Like in that lifestyle, like that point of view of life. Like I'm not from that, so I don't like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like older country because it feels more like blues.
Oh, that's a good point. Good point. Yeah, pop country is a little bit different. All right. Hey, well, with that, what kind of equipment were you using when you first started out making
Oh
beats?
man, just a laptop and using the laptop keyboard as like the MIDI controller. And eventually I moved up to like an M Audio 25 key MIDI keyboard and I used that for a long time. Like a long time. I didn't upgrade until like a year before I left California.
Oh wow.
I upgraded to like a 88 key keyboard. And then when I moved back to Maryland, I just gave it away.
Hey, do you ever sample like your stuff? It doesn't sound like it's sampled at all. Are you doing the beats straight raw, or do you sample a little bit?
Um, I always like when I moved back to Maryland, I started sampling heavy. Like I didn't sample in LA. Like I
Huh?
was kind of trained to like play everything from my internship. But then
Okay,
when I moved back to Maryland and I started making beats again, I was like, I'm gonna make it how I wanted to make it, and
that's
I'm
right.
just gonna start sampling. And I started sampling um up until like Glow Kid, I started sampling, but it was like a hybrid mix of like me playing instruments and sampling, and I
Nice.
started doing more of that. And the recent beats I've been making, I haven't been using like sampling anything.
Okay.
I just been playing stuff and then like
Yeah.
mixing it down and then putting it back in and then sampling that mixed down stuff that I made to make it sound like it was sampled because I just like the sound of sampling.
Okay.
But I don't know, like I'm off and on. Like sometimes I won't do that and I'll just straight play stuff
Yeah.
and sometimes I will sample. Like it depends on the mood that I'm in. Like if I want to sample, sampling's like a Zen garden. Like I feel like I feel like that way about mixing as well. It's just like relaxing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if I had a long day and I'm, you know, angry or tired or sad, I'm gonna sit here and sample. But if I'm like in a good mood and I'm energetic and like I have like sharp attention going on, I'm gonna play everything.
Yeah, and I'm totally not opposed to it. I just didn't get that feel when I was listening to the music that I had recently heard. But yeah, I think you're right, man. Just however the music drives you and whatever leads you to point Z is amazing. So
Yeah.
I thought I had to ask.
I think the stuff that you heard was like the non-sampled stuff. Like it was just
Okay.
straight.
Yeah, because usually I'll be able to identify like, oh, that's a dope sample that they chopped up. But I didn't get that sense when I was listening to your stuff. So awesome,
Oh yeah.
man. All right, man. So this is a big question too, man. How did you go about using Alexander Brown as your producer name?
Um, Brown is a nickname from high school.
Okay.
And it carried on to college because I went to college with a person I went to high school with. He's my good friend. So it just carried on like it spread like that. Alexander is my middle name and my father's name and my grandfather's name. Um, so I think before I was just going by Brown
Okay.
and then I just I just thought to use my middle name as the first name. And then my buddy Cap Callis, he was like, you should spell it like this and in all caps like that. I'm like, that does kind of look kind of cool.
Yeah, I
So
know.
I give Cap Callis credit to that. Shout out
Awesome.
to Cap
And he
Callis.
he pulled out all the vowels from it. Dude, it does look good. Yeah, I do like the way that it looks. And I just, man, I wonder how you came up with that. I thought your first name was Alex at first, and so I mean, probably Easy to understand why. But yeah, no, I love the way that it looks in block letters, and it works nicely, man. So curious how that came
Yeah, thank
about.
you.
And were you using any other names before that, or was it always Alexander Brown?
It was always Alexander Brown or Brown.
Yep.
Um, yeah, I didn't really like the because I was kind of thinking about just going by my real name and whatever,
Yep.
but like I kind of got in my head about it and was like, "Ah, I don't like the idea of having my real name like that out there."
Yeah. 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 It's all.
But I mean, pe yeah, I mean, people see it on Facebook anyway, so it doesn't even really matter.
No, no, hey, I think you went with the winning choice, man. And I hear sentence he calls you AB. Sometimes I know when we were on that podcast, right? They refer to you as AB. So awesome, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, hey, good deal, man. So Maryland, dude, how's the music scene out there when you first started, and then how's it now?
Um, so okay, so in high school there was like a couple artists that I really loved
Okay.
here. It was Teddy Faley, Cubby Bear, and some other people from Breakfast Records. A Class is a really dope battle rapper.
Nice.
Um, so that was kind of the scene that I liked here growing up, and then moving forward in the future, still the same people. That's all I really mess with in the local scene. Like a lot of the
Okay.
local, I mean, I can't, I wouldn't even really be able to say because I'm not involved with it at all. Like
Yeah.
I stick to my house. I don't like going out, especially in clubs or anything or
Yeah.
shows because of my ears. Um,
Mm,
but yeah, Cubby Bear. I was a big fan of Cubby Bear, and then eventually he became my friend, and then we did some music together, and we got real
nice.
close. And rest in peace, Cubby Bear. Yeah, he passed from brain tumor.
Oh man.
Um, but yeah, that's pretty much like the scene that I liked, and still Teddy too. Teddy's still here in Baltimore. Actually, he just moved back. He moved in my old neighborhood that I grew up in. Actually, it was pretty cool.
Nice.
Um, he's super talented. You should check him out if you haven't heard of him.
I will, man. Say his name again.
Teddy Faley. We have
Okay.
we have an album together called Teddy Brown Brown.
Dope.
Yeah,
Okay.
me, him, and it was me, him, and another producer, Tom Delay Beats.
Oh, nice. But yeah, interesting, man. So with that, man, so scene has got some great stuff that's going on. And so are you listening to the stuff that's on the radio these days? Do you enjoy some of that stuff?
Um, no, I don't listen to the radio that much anymore,
Okay.
because like a lot of if I did listen to the radio, it'd be like on drives, like long drives, and I just like literally
Yep.
just drive a minute up the street to work. And if I'm driving up the street to work, I'm like checking my own mixes in the car, making sure they're good. So like I will though, like maybe once in a blue moon, I'll like turn on the radio and see what's going on. A lot of the stuff anyway, it just comes up on my feed, so I'll hear like a sample of like what's being played, and I don't generally like it because it's not productive for um young people. Like it's a lot of the subject matter, especially in uh hip hop and on the radio, it's like really terrible subject matter and it gives like a false perception to like kids about reality and like what what is important, like what you should value and things like that. And they just like think that like these rappers have all this money and they think it's cool to sell drugs or like going to jail is like a badge of honor or some shit. Like it's crazy. Like like the music on the radio like sends these kids into this crazy delusional state of mind and like they have no idea what they're actually getting themselves into. Like I grew up with my father, like he was my dad was pretty heavy out there, and it was like a war zone every day, and you never know what was going to happen that day, like in the house or walking to the street or like going to school or whatever. Like it's not fucking fun. Like who wants to live in fear looking over their shoulder every day for fast money or like I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. I have a weird relationship with mainstream rap music.
No, hey, and so that's why I could see the connection with the stuff that was happening in the underground, right? And so,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, some great messaging down there. Um, and then you went on to produce, like you mentioned, an album with rappers. So 2 years later, after you produced the Alexander Brown project, you mentioned you went into Glow Kid, and so you mentioned that was quite a feat trying to put that together. How long did it take to put Glow Kid together?
So with the music, a week. With everything else, including features, it was probably close to a year, and then like a couple more months with like planning and stuff like that.
Yeah. How is it when you send the beats out and then the anticipation or the wait to get the song back? Some rappers are better than others. Some will sit on beats, and is that a big frustration to you, or just you got to roll with the punches?
Um, the only thing that worries me is when people sit on things
Yeah.
because like I mean one if they're like actually using it and it's just like taking a while to get to recording because life whatever I don't care like whatever
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
fine. But I'm always excited to get it back because I never know what they're gonna do or
Right.
say, and it's never like anything like I'm like, oh, this sucks. Like I'm always like, whoa, you know. But like one pet peeve that I have,
Okay.
like I love and respect like honesty. So like if I send someone a beat and they don't like it and they tell me that they don't like it or if it's not for them, like I don't have any emotion towards that. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll figure something else out. But like,
Excellent.
I feel like it's like I don't like it when like someone like doesn't want to like they think that they don't want to offend me and like
All
they're
right.
like, oh,
They'll tell you.
it's cool, it's good, and then like yeah, I'm gonna use it, and then they sit on it and then make me believe that they like it and they're gonna use it, but then like 5 years passes or a couple years, a year or whatever pass, and they
They
haven't
blow
used
up.
it. And I'm like, yo, are you still gonna use this? And they still say yeah, but then I'm like, be honest, be honest. And then,
Okay.
eventually someone will be like, actually, it's not for me. And I'm like, all right, cool, I'll move it somewhere else or whatever. But yeah, I prefer for people to just be like, I don't like it. I don't like it.
What is the what is an acceptable amount of time to sit on a beat?
With the intentions of using it.
Yes.
However long you want to sit on it.
Okay. Hey, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
however long it takes, like because I don't know, like you can kind of tell through like communication, like through enthusiasm, like if someone actually is going to use it or not. Like I can tell at least, like I can tell like if someone actually likes it and wants to use it, and then in that case, like I'll just completely forget about that beat and let them sit on it, and then
Yeah.
surprise me whenever they're ready.
Yeah. Hey, that's how I felt when you sent that beat. I was like, "Whoa, this is dope!" Knocked it out real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Dude,
was.
you killed that. I love that song so much. I can't wait to.
Oh, thank you. Me too. I've been listening it into the car. I'm gonna try to get it done. Hopefully some of it today, but I got a 4-day weekend next weekend, so that one for sure I'll be able to get done then. But yeah, that was really exciting. I
Hell
really
yeah.
liked how it turned out. All right, well, good man. Hey, that album I loved it, man. And so, man, a lot of great songs, and you guys got the whole camp on that. And some of the favorite songs I had. in such a dope album already was the Dream School song with Sage and Buck 65. Oh man, you'll never graduate from Dream School. Oh man, dude, that is great. And then I really enjoyed
Yeah,
the Black Lick track, which was super dope. But the whole album from start to finish was just a great listen, man. So props to you for that.
thank you, man. I appreciate that. I
Yeah,
really do.
absolutely.
I really
And you
do.
mentioned there's gonna be a follow up. Is there a Glow Kid 2 that's coming at some point, or are you just gonna leave that concept there?
Yeah, I don't think it will be this year.
Hmm.
But it's happening. Like I'm calling it Afterglow. Um,
Nice.
Afterglow. And this one's gonna be special because this is I I'm intentionally like not sampling anything,
Okay.
and I'm just I'm playing everything myself, and if there are parts that I can't play, then I'm gonna hire a musician to play some parts and just kind of produce them to, how I want it to be.
Yeah.
So and this one's gonna be more directed, like musically. I'm not sure what artists are gonna write about. Um, but like instrumentally, like I'm kind of tapping into like my childhood and like the trauma and everything. I'm kind of like the first half is gonna be me trauma dumping.
Okay.
Just try like just because I finally feel like I'm at the place where like I can do that, like, and
Yeah.
not and not affect me internally.
Right.
Like I've done a lot of work and through therapy and whatever, and like I'm cool now. So now I'm like, oh, let me go back into this, think about it, and like express it in music.
Sure.
Um, so it's gonna be like that, and then the second half is gonna just come up. It's gonna keep coming up. Like it's gonna start low and just come up.
Hey, what's the story behind Glow Kid? What is a Glow Kid, or what? Yeah, what is that concept of a Glow Kid?
So the name itself is inspired by like screen addiction, like cell
Ah,
phone screens, iPad screens, computer screens,
man.
and like how kids nowadays, instead of playing outside, they're playing on iPads or whatever, and they're at night their lights are turned off, they're sitting there with the iPad or like doing school on the iPad or reading on the iPad, and their faces glow. So it's like glowing glow kid, like they're
Dude, I'm just not hip with the lingo. Is that a common term that's used? Oh man, that's the first time I heard that.
I think it's used. Yeah, I think a couple people use like
Okay.
similar things for that, but like I don't know, it resonated with me because I was
Yeah.
also having trouble with like looking at Instagram all the time, like,
Right.
so it's like a frustration. Out of frustration, I named it that.
Oh man, makes sense, man. I'd always want that was another question I really wanted to ask you. But yeah, hey, man, the hits and tracks and albums they just kept rolling in 2023, and you had just a nice lineup of songs that you did with Cast One. You did Joy, Collecting My Calm,
Mhm.
and then Silver Spoons, which was my favorite from that bunch. Just the dude is on point,
Oh,
man.
thanks.
Just, yeah, he's a writer, man. I never had that Silver Spoon. Life on the move by the light of the moon. I put my hands up on the free fall. Now stand up if I recall. Oh man, that was a great track, man. And just
Yeah.
all the songs were awesome, man. So yeah, so with that, you closed the year off with support to the Meter Maids album, right? A Line in the Sky. And so you did all the production for that entire album?
Yeah.
Oh man, dude.
Yeah, I did all the production. I sequenced the album. I made all the transitions and everything. And Buddy Peace came in with the cuts, and he
Yep.
did a lot of like vocal samples, like for the transitions. Like he placed in like certain vocal things, and he did like some sound effects for the verses and songs, like you hear on How to Make Your Bed, like Stanley Kubrick, like the like the shouts in the middle of the verses, and then like
Oh,
the crunch sounds and all like that. Like
that was him,
he
huh?
he did he did that stuff.
Dude, that album too was another great one from start to finish, man. So nice work on that, and I just my favorite song. I think it was the first song was "All the Smoke." Was that the first song for the album? I think it was.
Yep, yeah, yep, all
Yeah.
smoke, yep.
Oh, that's great, man. Puff Puff Pass, man. You can't have it back. I want all the smoke, man. That's a that's a great play on words, man. But yeah, hey, nice job on that album. It's refreshing to know that you did it, and it makes sense, right? Just the you know the just the flow of the album works well when one producer does all the beats. So yeah, it was well done, man.
Yeah.
You're off to a great start in 2024, man, with Master Cleanse too. So yeah, you
Oh
just
yeah, thank you,
yeah, you
dude.
aren't slowing down a bit.
I'm super proud of that one. I'm so proud of that beat and just the overall song. Like for one, them tackling a heavy subject, and then two, like
Yeah,
I learned so much making that beat during that time. Like I learned more in a period of a month than I did in like 2 years or something. Like I learned a lot during that, and that one doesn't have any samples in it either. It's
yeah.
just me playing stuff, playing my guitar and all. And like different, I learned a bunch of things doing that. I don't know, like I felt like pressure internally based on like the subject matter and everything. Like I felt like it couldn't just be like how it was before. Like
Okay.
I like had to like push myself to really learn. I started studying stuff and reading and watching tutorials on certain things that I wanted to try. And like, yeah, I worked real hard on that.
Yeah, how long was that song sitting? Was that the plan, just to have that single as the first release of the year? Were you sitting on that for a little bit, or was that just a relatively a quick turn of the song? Did you guys do that within like a week or so?
It
Or
was a Yeah, it was just a quick thing. Like
wow,
old boy mentioned to me the idea of him wanting to do a song about it.
mm-hmm.
And I was looking at what I had, and I was looking at these old Cubby Bear beats that I had. And the Master Cleanse beat was like a rough beat in that folder, but I really liked the vibe of it. It was just like the guitar that I had and some drums. It sounded kind of bad, but like I showed it to old boy. I was like, "Yo, what do you think of the vibe of this?" And he loved it, and he wrote to it right away. And he did his parts like within 2 days. Like he wrote his
Okay,
verses. He like maybe even a
wow,
day. He writes so fast. Like I'll send him a beat, and then like 30 minutes later, he sends me back 2 verses. I'm like, how do you?
amazing.
All right. And it's like insanely dope too. I'm like, Jesus, man, like your brain is special.
Yeah,
Brain, like, but
that
but yeah, it was a Cubby Bear
was
beat,
on the
and then
song
he
too,
wrote to it.
and yeah. Oh man, what a way to start 2024, man! And the hook was awesome too. Sage talking about while so many mouthpieces feel the need to keep shut. You guys deliver your messaging, and then just the hook for what is that career suicide to you, or just the comfortable but scared side of you. And so just yeah, just really them vocalizing what some people might be afraid to say. So really dope track, man. So props to you guys.
Oh yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely, man. So with that, hey, I know we're getting short on time, but like, hey, outside of music, what do you like to do for fun?
Um, Damn, I have to think about it because I haven't done anything in a while. Um, Video games.
Nice.
I like to play my Xbox.
Okay.
And I like if I'm stuck on music or something, I'll boot up my Xbox and play video games. Like I like this one game called No Man's Sky. It's like a space exploration game.
All
I'll do that and zen
nice.
out with that. What else? What else did I do? I mean, that's about it, really. I mean, I used to do a lot of stuff. I used to skateboard all the time. Like growing up, I thought
Nice.
that's what I was gonna be, was like a professional skateboarder.
Oh man,
Yeah,
dope.
and I got really good at it. It like took me places. I got to go to California for the first time in San Francisco and Oakland, and like,
Sick.
I had a board sponsor, and you know, once when I went to college though, I slowly stopped getting boards, and then it was just like, all right, I'm just gonna skate whenever I want to have fun. But I haven't
Nice.
I haven't skated in a while though. Like my knees are kind of weak now.
Yeah, hey, and you're on a rampage with music, man. So it's yeah, I can't imagine anything else in between that. But you're just making so much dope music. So awesome, man.
Thank you, man.
All right, we're going into the portion where I didn't send you these, where these all the random fun questions I like to ask people, man, at the end of the interview. All right, hey, what's Alexander Brown's favorite food?
Favorite food. Favorite food. Favorite food. Sushi.
Oh, good. Good. That sounds good right now, man. Okay. All
Sushi
right.
and pizza.
All day. Hey, favorite reality show of all time?
Probably favorite reality show. Favorite reality show. Favorite reality show. Um I would say like the old Road Rules, Real World shit in the 90s when I was a kid, because it
Okay.
was it was it was funny to me as a kid. But then, I hate to spoil it for people, but later on in life you realize that they're all scripted. Or like they're scripted with
Yeah.
like improvisation for the topic at hand.
Situations they designed to create effect, man. True.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, are you a magic guy? Do you like magic?
I love magic.
All right.
Are you
Chris
talking about the
Angel.
card game?
No, just oh no, just magic in general. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think everybody loves magic. All right. Hey, favorite magician, Chris Angel or David Copperfield?
Hmm. What's the other guy? Um, Not Chris Angel. There's another guy that's like really creepy with it. I would say David Copperfield out of those two, but then like there's another guy that like is just like insanely creepy with his magic. And I think it's fucking hilarious, and I like him a lot. I
Oh,
just can't remember his name.
I'll have to
Let me
look
see
that
if
up
I can
after.
find it.
Okay.
David Blaine?
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Good one. I totally did. I totally missed him, man. All right. Yeah, David Blaine is pretty dope. All right. Here's the next question, man. If you had a choice, man, what are you wearing? Cowboy boots or Crocs?
Crocs.
All day. All right, man. Hey, K-pop, man. As a producer, you love all sorts of music. All right, for the K-pop, what are your choices, man? Or what are you choosing between Blackpink or BTS?
I don't know what either of those are, but uh
This is my name.
Black Pink sounds interesting.
Yeah, it sure does. I like that
It's a
group.
cool name.
All right. Hey, with that, any special projects that are coming up that you want to tell people about?
Um, well, Afterglow, which will be next year at some point. I'm doing an album with Old Boy too. I'm
Nice.
not sure. I'm not sure. That might be next year as well. Maybe later this year. I don't know. Whatever. We're still kind of like just we got a bunch of songs, and we're still kind of refining and trying to figure out if we want to add something or take away something. Um, we're just taking our time with that. And then yeah, there's a couple other projects I'm working on too. I just don't know if those people would want me to mention that yet. But
Okay.
um It's, you know them.
Nice, man. Fleshing it out, man. Yeah, I think I got a hint about of a couple of them, man. Hey, well, with that, man, what's the best place to find your music? Where do you want people to go check your music out on digital streaming platforms, or do you prefer your actual Bandcamp or the Strange Famous website? Where do you want them going?
I prefer the Bandcamp or the Strange Famous website. Like they
Okay.
can find everything there. And then with the Teddy Faley album, that's on Teddy Faley's Bandcamp page.
Okay.
So you can check that out on his Bandcamp page or the label that put it out, Karma Kids.
Nice.
Um, yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, man, with that, thank you again. It was an honor to do a deep dive into your musical journey, man. I'm a big fan of your music. Everything I've heard is banging. And just an honor to know you as a person, man. You're an awesome dude. And I look forward to all your future releases, man. Thank you. Is there anybody that you want to shout out before we close this interview up?
Dan, thank you for that, man. I'm a big fan of your music too. Like
Uh,
I love your sound, and how you deliver your
uh,
words and how you write and all. I think it's super fucking dope.
Thank
Um,
you so much.
Shout out to Sentence, shout out to Swell, shout out to Sage, shout out to Cast One. Cast One and I just did a crazy song recently.
Woo.
Um, Old Boy, everybody at Strange Famous Records. Memphis Reigns.
Oh, thank you, man. You're too
uh,
kind, man.
Hi Mom. Hi Pauline. Hi Becca. Yeah, everybody. I love you all.
Hey, well said, and it's an awesome way to close it out. Well, hey, brother, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Keep in touch, man. I can't wait to continue building with you, man. Take care.
Thank you, man. You too. I'll talk to you soon.